Hi guys, and welcome to today's video. Today we're going to be making a little chibi inspired by the Princess Zelda design from the Breath of the Wild 2 announcement trailer, the one with the cute little haircut. I've been playing around recently with different chibi styles, or different way to frame them, different way to wear them, and I really like what I came up with for this video, and I hope you guys like it too. So without further ado, let's go clay! So we're going to start out by rolling out some black clay into some thin layers, and then I'm going to cut it with my oval cutter and just smooth everything down. We don't want it to look like it came from a cutter. So I'm just squishing everything down, making sure everything is smooth and even, and I'm going to take my chisel tip silicone tool and tuck in the ends. Alright, now that that's done, I'm going to clean up my surface and grab my beige clay, and I'm going to roll a ball, checking to see if the size is right for what I want to do. And then I'm going to cut the ball in half, and then I'm just going to smooth everything down and clean off the dust as I go. And now I'm going to work on the ears, so I'm just going to roll out a little snake and then pinch out the ends and then cut off the little triangles and place them in about the middle of their head, trimming them to make sure that they are about the right size. Her ears aren't that big. And I'm struggling with this one. This whole thing is a struggle, I'll tell you guys. It's tough. Okay, now that I have the ears in place, I'm just going to kind of blend everything in, pushing in the sides and making sure that the ears are now attached to the side of her head. Now I'm going to take some white clay, just a little bit, and I'm going to pinch and roll to make kind of like a little flat disc shape. And I'm going to get it until it's about the size that I need. Then I'm going to cut that bad boy in half. And I'm going to just tuck in the sides, clean it up, make sure it is about even. I couldn't get it even for the life of me, so I put a dent in her head so I knew where the center of her head was. So I'm just going to do the same thing with the dark gray clay, and those are going to be her legs. And I'm going to roll out some blue clay, and I'm going to cut it into a very small, thin rectangle. And I'm going to just press it on to the top part. This is the part of her shirt that kind of goes over her chest area. And I'm just tapping it on gently to kind of get it a little more flushed with her shirt. I'm going to take the head off, and I'm going to roll out, we'll call worms of clay. They're not quite snakes. And I am just trimming them and putting them into little like V's onto the top of her shirt, because she has some straps that go down from her neck and then also around her shoulders. So I'm just trimming it down and adding, that is the one that goes kind of from the top of her shoulder to under her arm, but this chibi doesn't have arms. And now I'm cutting out some more blue clay. These are going to be the little blue parts that hang out from underneath her belt, and so they're basically just long triangles cut very, very small and placed onto her pants under her shirt. And I'm just pressing everything into place, putting the head on and smoothing everything out. Now I'm taking some brown clay and cutting it into a very long triangle and kind of rounding out the edges because I don't want it too harsh. And I'm going to place it just across her body, and I'm just adding a little bit of texture. Now I'm just going to bake her for 10 minutes. All right, now that she is pre-baked, I'm going to start on the hair. I'm going to start by just flattening out some light yellow clay and folding it into kind of a little bit of a rectangle and just trimming it to size because I don't want it too big. I'm adding some bacon bond to the back of her head, and I'm just going to squish that yellow clay right into place. And I'm going to trim up the sides, and I'll get some new bacon bond soon, I promise. This is time lapse and it's taking forever. All right, so I'm putting some bacon bond along the top of her head. That way her bangs and everything can stay in place. So I am going to just take like a strip of clay, and I'm going to stretch it until I get to little really long triangles. Those are going to be the little pieces that hang in front of her ears. And I'm going to pull them up all the way to the top. And for her bangs, I'm going to take two pieces and kind of squish them into circles and then pull them to a point to make more of a teardrop type of shape. And those two are going to go in the front, meeting directly in the middle, and they're going to tuck behind her ears. And I'm just going to press them together. And now I'm going to work on the braid. This is where it goes downhill. And so if you don't know how to braid, you just take one end and put it over the other, alternating sides until you get to the desired length or until you just run out of clay. And so I am just doing this. I'm going to trim it and put it up. Oh, no, first I'm going to clean things up. And then I'm going to cut some of the excess hair from the back off. In hindsight, I don't think I should have done this. It was just an extra step that didn't need to be taken, but I did it. So now I'm kind of pressing in the back behind the bangs so that way the braid can lay down. And I think that's where everything ended up not quite looking right, but I don't figure that out just yet. I know something's off, I just don't know what. So I'm just cleaning her up a little bit, and I'm going to add some texture to her hair because she has hair and hair has texture. And so I am just going through each of the little braid strands very lightly, adding just a little bit to make it not look so smooth. So now I'm going to make a couple more very tiny little worms of clay, and these are going to be her hair clips that go into her bangs. And I'm trying carefully to make sure that they are basically the right size. And I'm just going to roll them out just a little bit, and I'm going to place them in the bangs in an outer V where the open side is going towards her face and the point is going towards the back. And I'm just pressing those in slightly, making sure everything is smooth and blended well together. And I know something's off. I can't figure it out. So I decide to make another braid, and nope, I did not like how that looked. So I stretch it out. I don't know what I was thinking. It's hot, y'all. This clay is soft. It did not work the way I wanted it to. So I decided to take a long snake, and I flattened it out, and I started putting little triangles or little points on either side to mimic braids going along the side, and just tucking them in and pressing in all along the sides to make it not just one straight piece. And now I'm just going to place it onto her hair, adding a couple more triangles and making it more defined. And then I'm going to just add a little bit of texture to that hair as well, because I wanted it to sit on top of her head and look more like a headband than just being blended into her hair as a whole. So now I am going to go ahead and bake her. Now that she is baked, I'm going to take her off the work surface, and I'm going to just press her into the black clay to kind of get her a little bit more flush, pressing everything in so that way there is no space in between her and the background. While that bakes, we are going to start painting. I am taking a yellowishy orange clay, and I am just lightly painting over those straps that she has on her chest. If you do mess up, you can always take a damp baby wipe and kind of wipe away the excess paint. Now I'm just going to paint the strap, the yellow stripe that she has on the bottom part of her blue shirt, and filling in that center circle and doing the little ends. Now we're going to start with the eyes. I had a lot of trouble with the eyes. So I'm just taking a ball tool and some blue paint, and I am trying my best to make ovals that are somewhat similar, and I'm not doing well. So I take a wipe, I wipe it away, but since it's a darker color, it didn't go away. So you can always take some acetone on a Q-tip and just wipe it down ever so gently. Now that everything is cleaned up, I'm going to go for take number 2. And I just can't do it. So I clean it up again using a wipe and some acetone. Now I have a surface. I'm hoping the leverage will really help me get in just the right detail, and I am happy with it. So I'm taking some pink and doing some really simple ovals on the side. That was easy. Then I realized that the pink cheeks were a little too pink. I don't like them so much as a hot pink. I want them more of a really nice light pink. So I just painted over them with the same ball tool to just lighten them up. Now the easy part with the white paint, you're just going to take a little tool, boop, boop, and and you're done. Isn't she cute? All right, now another struggle. I'm going to mix teal and a lime green together for the background, mimicking the kind of little swoopsies that you see in the trailer that are part of, you know, like the Divine Beasts stuff. And so, yeah, I didn't like where that was going. So I'm trying again. Oh, this time I take my thinner brush, and I actually really like how everything looks a lot better. It's just kind of more wispy and less forced and not as thick and goopy. And I prefer the softer approach. Okay, now that everything's done, we are just going to add some super glue to her back and press her on. And now we're going to take the bail and we're going to do the same thing. We're just going to super glue it to the back and add a little bit of extra glue on the back just to keep it nice and secure. And the last step is to glaze. I'm just going to glaze 2 coats on all sides. That's it, guys. I hope you really enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to give it a big thumbs up and subscribe and comment below who your favorite video game princess is, or just a quick hello, which just means so much to me. And with that said, that is all I have for today's video, so I will see you in the next one. Bye.